Hello, everyone. Right now, I'm about to do some Python programming before I go to bed. I'm working on a game that'll play itself. If you have any questions about the game I'm making, feel free to ask in the chat, and I'll make sure to get to you. If you guys like these videos, feel free to hit me up and tell me so I can make more. While I'm working on the program, you'll be listening to royalty-free music from Juke Deck, where you can go and make your own. That's not a paid product placement, but the only way to make it royalty-free without me having to pay money to use the song, I have to mention where it's from. So yeah, this is the code that I'm working with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. Seems like I'm getting a text. Oh, today's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. I'm going to send my dad a quick text. And then I'm going to thank my grandma for reminding me. Shout out to Dad and Grandma. Okay, back to the game. I guess I can discuss the game a little bit while I'm coding, and you can see what I'm doing on screen. So the game uses a similar system to Magic the Gathering's different mana types. So you have red, green, blue, black, and white, and each have their own abilities that they can do. But I'm going to set it up where each of their abilities go off automatically, and rather than having creatures that have individual mana sets, each creature controls each type of mana, and the different types control what the creature does. Like red mana is how many times the creature can attack a turn, similar to how in Magic, red is about playing quickly and getting as many creatures out as you can so that you have a lot of blockers and a lot of people to hit with. This will also happen occasionally where there are dead zones where there isn't any music playing through. That's expected. So that's not like a big thing. And that's because it takes a second for the song to kick in, the next one. I'll be making songs. Plus, through Juke Deck. Plus, once it runs out of songs that I've made, it'll build up. Yeah, once it runs out of songs that I've made, I have to go in and make more. But it's really easy to make them. With Juke Deck, it would be awesome if I could get one of those promo codes for you guys, even though it's pretty much a free service. Actually, no, a promo code would be cool. Like if you got so many songs free without having to put in the little name tag, that'd be nice. That's something that even I would like. Let's see. So yeah, red is how many times they can attack a turn. Green and Magic is about like getting out strong monsters. So green is how much damage you deal a turn. Blue, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do for blue. And for black, it's going to be you lose so much health, but then you gain that much in attack, so it adds to your green. So green's like your base damage. And then black is like the boost damage that you get from losing health. And then white is how much health the creature gains a turn. Also, I'm glad that I said this out loud, because I have not set up health variables for anyone yet. I'm going to set health to be 20, just like in Magic the Gathering. I'm not a really big Magic guy, but I wanted to build something with that kind of system, just to get my feet wet a little bit more in programming. I made a 100 on my programming final that I took this fall. Also, I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger for you guys. I'm not sure how clearly the code really appears for you. If you guys have any problems seeing the code that I'm working on, feel free to say so in the live chat, and I'll edit it accordingly so that you guys will be able to see it clearly. I'll even make it just a little bit bigger. Right now I'm setting up print statements that proclaim that that the computer is currently setting up stats for, and then it'll say the name of the first player. Also, there are a list of names that it randomly picks from. The way that it works is that if a name has already been chosen for player 1, player 2 keeps randomly choosing a name until it doesn't pick the same one that player 1 had, so that you don't have to worry about them both having the same name and that being confusing. And under all these print statements, I'm going to add in a space so that these statements don't jump up and stack on top of each other, just so that it looks neater. Or more neat, I should say. Oh, fun fact, Dashi XP has his own Wikia. So if you look it up, you can find all the Dashi memes on his wiki. If you guys don't know who Dashi XP is, he's a pretty funny YouTube gamer, very excited. I enjoy watching his videos from time to time, so shout out to Dashi. Right now I'm adding a few more of those print statements. This one's going to tell you what player 1's gamer tag is after the tags for player 1 and player 2 have been fully decided. And then I just copy it and change up the text a little bit, and that'll tell you what player 2's gamer tag is. And this is just so that I can run the program, all what's happening. Here are the stats for here's what this one has and this one has, just to make sure that the basic systems are running correctly. I'm probably going to be on for like 45 more minutes and then take a break to like go to bed and get ready for my classes that I have tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of class for the new lazy day where I don't really upload anything for the merchandising brand. Saturdays, I'm doing more crime fighting related stuff and working with the Dark Defender. You may see him on a few live streams coming up, and you may see me doing more crime fighting things as the year goes on. A thing that I do on Sundays is I work with my friend KJ, and I write for our comic book series. I probably won't post up what I'm writing in a live stream due to the fact that I want to surprise you guys when we release the book. I've published a lot of books on Amazon, and this will be the first comic book, and I'm really glad that I have KJ to work on it with me. So I hope you guys enjoy the book as well. I'll definitely tell you guys when it comes out. Okay, right now, I think I was thinking about making a stat spreadsheet, but I don't think I'll do that just yet. I think that'll be down here. And that may come up when they actually start like playing through. So for now, I'm going to run the program and just see if all the print statements come that need to come. Okay, here we go. We have an error. That normally happens. So there's an unexpected indent on line 23. That's why they gave me this little red box right here. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like that was lined up with the while statement, which it didn't need to be because it was outside of the loop. So now I'm going to make this box a little bigger again because I really don't want to alienate you guys from the experience. So that hopefully you'll be able to read what's on my screen. Here we go. Okay, now that should no longer be wrongly indented. There we go. So it had a problem after it started rolling stats for John. Okay, random.random takes no arguments. So that makes sense. What it's saying is that the way that I wanted to do float numbers for rolling their stats doesn't work. I thought that I could do random.random, which would mean that it would generate float numbers within a certain scale. And then I would set it 1 to 6, so it would generate a random float number from 1 to 6. But I think what you have to do is do random.randint and then set it where the variable that you want it to be a float number just when you append it to the list, or when you resave that variable, you resave it as a float. That may sound really weird if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to type out essentially what I'm doing. Like, if you guys can clearly see my code, then you'll see where I just fixed it. And it was on line 19 where I did this by accident, and not by accident. I did it on purpose and then realized my mistake. So on line 19 and on line 26, and I put the actual correction after fixing line 19 and 26 onto 27 and 20, and now it should run fine for those parts, but I'm probably going to get another error. This normally happens when you first run. Okay, I see what's happening. So the reason why the program is just going and going and going and going is because I set it up to be a loop. But the only reason why the loop is so hardcore right now is because it hasn't got to the part where it just plays the game. But this means that the program is running fine so far. It's only an infinite loop because I haven't finished where the loop will ever close. At least not yet. So now that all the stats are set up, it's really time for me to get into the nitty-gritty of making this game a real game. So let's begin. So I'm going to set up a while condition, so another loop, while health A is greater than 0. Well, hold on. The reason why I feel weird about saying while health A is greater than 0 is because I have to set it up. Oh, I know what I can do. While health A is greater than 0 and health B is greater than 0. That way, if either player's health falls below 0, the game ends. Or at least that's how it's going to be set up. Next, I'm going to set up turn parameters. So I'm going to set turn equals 0. And that's going to be important. Maybe it should be turn equals 1. It's hard to say. I need to set it up in a way to where it recognizes the player 1 is gone and the player 2 is gone. Technically, because it's already a loop, I can make it continually loop without having to put in a turn parameter. Yeah, I may get rid of the turn parameter altogether and then just let it roll this way. So right now I'm going to set up a few basic things like player tag plus tag A, print. Also above this, I'm going to do what I like to call a border. You just tell it to print a bunch of lines, and it just will make it be a little bit neater when it starts printing everything out in the execute box. So player tag print attacks per turn space string red A print space print. Then it'll be base damage dealt per turn. Plus string green A technically there is a faster way for me to type up this, and it's simply I copy this part, paste it down, and now for this part it's self life drain damage dealt per turn, and this is going to be black A. Paste. Self life gain per turn. This will be white A. And these are all really easy for me to program. Blue is the only one where I don't know what I'm going to make blue. Like I either am going to drop blue completely from the game, or I'll just think of a creative solution to put blue into the game. The reason why blue is so hard for me to think about is that in Magic the Gathering, blue is control. So blue lets you do things that let you control the game board. But for this game, it doesn't seem like there's as much of a game board. Everything's kind of happening while it is turn-based. It's really back and forth. These guys swinging at each other and adjusting their stats, so on and so forth. I may actually add a turn counter. I just thought about that, so you can see how long a game went for. So let's see, per turn. Instead of per turn effect, I'm just going to say special effect power for blue, because again, I still don't know what blue really will be, or if it will even have a per turn effect. Next, I just need to add in the simple code that lets it do everything that it needs to do, and then has it switch over to the next person, and then the loop will just keep going. So this is actually going to be really easy from here, because the next thing it's going to be is the attack loop, I imagine. Actually, technically the attack loop doesn't have to be a thing. So it's more or less like attacks per turn times the base damage plus the self life drain damage dealt. Is the attack power. And I just set it to where that is subtracted from the opponent. The way it's set up is that you gain health at the beginning, which is your amount of white. You then lose health based on your amount of black. You then attack so many times, plus the amount of health that you lost. And your attack is normally just your base damage, but then you add that. And then I don't know what the blue effect will be. I was thinking the blue effect could allow you to edit the other player's stats, since it is a heavily stat-based game. But it seems like if you have a lot of blue, you're just gonna like screw your opponent over really hard. So I'm thinking to make it a random choice thing. Also, it seems like blue could be used wrong. So let's say the computer for blue subtracts a number of blue points from one of its opponent's stats, and it does it every turn. And let's say it picks a random stat of the opponent. If you subtract black from an opponent, then it'll get weird, because if black is able to be made into a negative number, your opponent will actually start to gain health, and it makes for shenanigans. It's going to be really odd when that starts rolling, if what happens. Again, I'm going to keep making the screen a little bit bigger for you guys. I have this broadcast on my TV. In the background, there's like a Legends of Tomorrow screen thing that I have, desktop background. I hope that doesn't get me in any copyright trouble. I didn't even think about it until now. So I saw Commander Steel on the side. But let's see. Without a blue effect, this is what all the stats do. So I just need to add print statements that make everything seem really action-packed. And by action-packed, I mean very like basic things like tag A gains blank amount of health. You know, stuff like that. And then right after that, there should be another statement that says how much their current health is at as well. But first, I'm going to set up the black statement. Self-life drain. Black A health. And I can put self-life gain. Self-life gained and self-life drained is kind of weird. So I'm going to say healed. There we go. Healed that much health. And then instead of, self-life drain, we're going to say I don't know. I feel like I want to use something that has to do with like, right now I guess it'll be vampire charged. So vampire charged, so much health. And then here I'm going to say tag A. I actually really like this one. Has health. Has base. remaining. So, like I said before, after a while, I will run out of songs on here. So I'll have to songs. Also, I hope nothing's cutting out for you guys. It's really hard for me to tell how well a live stream really is recording. Especially since I can't really hear it. Another thing I don't know of for sure is like how well you guys hear the music. I turned the music volume up a little bit more, so I think you guys probably do hear more of the music now. I also have the music coming out of a separate speaker, and I don't know how that affects you guys. I also don't know if you guys could already hear the music through the screen sharing. That's another thing that I still don't understand. A lot of this is new to me, but I guess I'm going to figure it out when I hear overlapping music or something weird like that happen. So I put how much health I have remaining. Now I'm going to add tag A. Actually, I may already have the copy and paste set up. Oh, Control Z. Tag A has a tag. Tag B. String. Red A. Many times. 4. Green A. Base damage. And string black A. Vampiric charge. Charge damage. So player 1 has attacked player 2 this many times for that much base damage and that much vampiric charge damage. I'm going to set a variable that's called attack, and I'm going to set up attack to be this number right here. Then I'm going to replace this with attack as a variable name. And I'm going to say for a whopping total of plus string attack damage, and then add a bunch of exclamation points to make it exciting. Because all of this is just going to be text anyways. And then it is really odd to figure out how I'm going to make blue work. I could set it to make it choose a random stat, like I said before, and then drain your opponent's random stat. But of course, that gives player 1 an advantage. So I could do a first turn basis thing, where if turn equals 1, you're not allowed to use the blue ability. That way, player 2 gets to use the blue ability first. So at the end of the turn, I'm going to have a plus equal 1 to show that the turn has gone up. I'm going to move over to where the music is at. And here's how easy it is for me to create a track. I just click create track. All the presets for the type of music that I'm playing are already set up. So I just jump in. And because all the presets are in, I just keep running it. It's just atmospheric synth pop. So far, it's been pretty enjoyable to play around with and just listen to while I program. So I got mad because I tried to make more than 5 tracks at the same time. No big deal. 5 tracks is more than enough to get us out of the loop of just hearing the same songs. Because I've already heard Pertinent Rose before. Let's see. So I'm going to add a statement that says, if turn is greater than 0. And now I can set up for how blue abilities will work. So it'll be random.ranChoice. I believe I've used this piece of code earlier, so I'm just checking myself. Actually, it's just random.choice. You don't put rand unless you're doing the random integer thing, and I'm sure there are other things where you do it. Random choice. Actually, I think I know why I did that. I probably just want to do rand int, to be honest. And then say 1 to 5. But then I also probably want to set this to be a variable of some kind. I don't know why, but I want to call it bell. If bell equals 1, and I'm going to not put in the colons real quick. It's just easier for me to copy and paste that way. 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then now I'm giving them all colons. Okay, now each of these need their own conditions where it says if red B is greater than 0, red B minus equals blue A. It'll probably have like a print statement accompaniment as well. Tag A. Use their magic to drain tag B. Yeah, I just realized that the way that everything is presented to limit this is actually really interesting. So another thing that my brain is thinking about is that I can have control either add to itself, or I can have it add to the opponent. So it doesn't necessarily mean that each one of these has to then be something that just messes with the opponent. It can be self-beneficial. So the way that I'm going to do that is to then set another operator where it's just 0 or 1. And then I'm just going to set that to binary. And now I think all those songs that I just made are like made. But I also think it just moved me through the track list. But I want to see the newer tracks. So view more. Yeah. Sorry about all the pauses in the audio. This may actually be slowing down the video. Before it seemed like everything was being ordered in a specific way that I wanted it to be. Now it's only showing atmospheric tracks, which is good, because that's all I want to listen to right now. And now I'm going to change it to here, and I think it should play down the list now. I think I know what happened. It only has so many things it can name anything. So it named a new song the name of an old song, and it confused me. So now let's get back to the program. I'm probably only going to do this for like 16 more minutes or so, because I'm trying to go to bed at a specific time to get ready for class tomorrow. So red A plus equals blue red. That also means I only have so much time to do everything else. So I should hurry up just a tad bit. Green B, because I am rather close to being done, but not all the way done. Green. I think white is the third one. No, blue is the third one. Oh man, yeah. Blue versus blue stuff is going to be the dumbest thing. Using blue to modify blue. Because that essentially means if your blue modifies completely changes your game. Your blue stat does let you control the game a lot like Magic. So I'm glad that the blue stat could stay true to its inspiration. So going in for white. and then the last one must be black. So and now I want all of those to have print statements as well. And I'm not sure if it would be faster to give them print statements now or after I add to the turn cycle. It's whatever right now. I like that blue happens at the end of your turn too. I think it may be a little more balanced that way. Gosh, I don't know. Print statements just, they're a lot. They're a lot for flavor, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not a big thing that I need to do right now. The biggest thing that I need to do is copy everything I've done. And technically, I'm going to have to copy all the print statements. That's the big reason why I wasn't sure if I want to do the print statements now or later. But I copy everything that I did before. And then I'm going to change all the parts where it says A to B and all the parts where it says B to A. And this is just the other player's turn. It's the same exact thing, just with slightly changed variables. The cool part about the name list is that when you blah, 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 I don't know why my brain keeps going like completely blank. I think it's because I am getting ready to go to bed in like 12 minutes. But by making the variables so similar, it makes it very easy to edit. That being said, using if statements would also have been a really good idea, and I wouldn't have had to have copied and pasted the whole thing. It just would have been like, it's an odd turn, it's this player, and if it's an even turn, it's this player. And then it does the different print statements depending on which is which. I didn't do that, even though I am aware that that would have made perfect sense. This is when it gets weird. That actually was even weirder because I don't say how much health the opponent has right afterwards. But again, that is just like more flair, the print. But it is really the game is what you see, not all this code. Red A. That's actually B and B. Then B and A. So you change that one to A. Then you change both of these to B. Yeah, adding the print statements won't be a big deal at all. Also, it's really fun to be able to do this with you guys in chat, being able to ask questions and everything. So I think later on, when more people know that this is a thing, and we're able to build up a chat presence, I'll probably do this maybe even every night. Because I really did need something to help me wind down into going to sleep. So I'm not just thinking forever. Because it is true that if I just tried to go to sleep, I probably would have just been thinking about doing this. instead of just doing it. Hashtag Nike 2017. I wonder if there are like Twitch streams that do this, where people just code. Okay, and it lacks a lot of flavor, but for the most part it's done. Now there are a few additional details that need to be addressed outside of this loop. These details being things like if health A is equal to 0 and health B are equal to 0, and this is just going to be really basic because I am like starting to wind down and I'm going to go to sleep soon. But for now, it's just going to say tie. Well, equals to 0 is a stretch. It should be less than or equal to 0 because you actually never know if it'll be exact amounts, especially with all the fluctuation that happens with all the different stats. So if health A is less than or equal to 0 and health B is greater than 0, then tag B wins. And again, this is really basic. I want to add more and make more of the fluff parts because that really is what you enjoy out of seeing the game. And I do want to make a version probably tomorrow night on stream with you guys. Make a version, actually put in what you want for each score based on a point pool of rolls that are made. Essentially what the computer is doing by itself now, make it where one person can play against the computer, can play against itself, and then make one where two players can play against each other. Duh, that was the only other option. Greater than health B is less than or equal to tag A wins. And now it's time to run it and watch it pull up an error, because that's what you do. Run. So I don't know if you guys are still with me or not. There we go. So already I see some problems that didn't ring up as an error. But they just are like basic problems. Like I didn't put a spacing after attacked. So it caused some of the text to wedge a little bit. This is just like a little bit of straightening up during the last 2 minutes because I am about to stop the broadcast. Okay, player 1's gamer tag was Jared, player 2 was Gerard. I'm using my friend's name for these. Wow, Jared won. How many turns was that? Okay, that's another thing that I just noticed is that I haven't put in a turn number segment. And technically, there's a turn 0. But I guess the way that I could do it is plus string turn +1 so that it makes a little bit more sense to the player. But dang, that looked like a really fast victory for Jared. Wow, what did Jared do? Now it's Harambe versus Ray. Turn 2. Wow. So Ray could attack once per turn. And Harambe could attack 5 times per turn. He could only deal 1 damage per turn, but then he self-life drains 5 points from himself. So he really deals 6 damage, but then he deals it 5 times. So he hits him for 30 damage. Oh man, that actually is really ridiculous. Then Harambe healed 3. So he healed 3, but lost 5. So then he had 18 health remaining. Okay, I just realized it also just straight up says remaining, so it's saying health remaining. So I probably am going to fix that tomorrow. But gosh, yeah. These computer stats are insane. He can only attack once per turn for 10 damage. Wow, yeah, Harambe got that ass. So it was good hanging out with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Thank you for watching, and I'll probably do this again tomorrow night. This is Jet Black, logging out.